Hi everybody, this is Angie from Tourangie.com, and today I'm driving into Bluefield as I typically do once a month. This is coming up 19. I've gotten off 460. I'm on 19, and as you can see, there's the signs, welcome to Bluefield. And we heading down to the downtown area, traveling the Federal Street and Bland Street and doing some driving around. I'll talk to you about a few different things, but first off, I'm going to talk to you about Al Land. He was famous in this area, and honestly, I remember hearing the stories about him, but I do not remember him or his commercials. I believe it was the early 1970s and before when he was in the area with the jewelry store, but he had a jewelry store in Beckley and in Richlands. We'll talk about him a little bit and how he would stand on his head to please you. So I'm going to do my best to point out where he was located. It was at the corner here of Bluefield Avenue and I guess you would say Federal Street or Bland Street. The building is no longer there, but I'll point it out in the video where it was. He was basically a local celebrity. He was well loved, and he would stand on his head to please you. My mom remembered basically seeing him stand on his head. I remember somebody talking about they'd seen him stand on his head at church just because somebody asked him to. But he would always stand on his head there in his jewelry store. Now, like I said, I'm too young to remember it. I do not remember it at all. I just remember hearing about him and how he was a local celebrity. But we're going to point that out in the video, and I figured I would go on and mention it. He died in March 19th, 1999. So it's been, 25 years basically since he died. But 25 years. But he was, a local celebrity. So we're going to talk about him just a little bit more. He was born in 1908, and it was in Durham, North Carolina. And like I said, he died in 1999, but he died in Fort Myers, Florida, so that's where he went after he retired from Bluefield. He is buried at Monte Vista Cemetery, and I think that's really neat. So I filmed a video of Monte Vista Cemetery about a year and a half ago, and it's a beautiful cemetery, and it's a large cemetery with lots of people, lots of burials there. So with me doing these videos, I've learned so much about the other people who were buried there, and Alfred Land is one of them. So love learning about the other people in the area and different things. So I'm glad as long as that I'm teaching you all things. Well, heck, I'm learning stuff too as I go. So when he was at the Duke University, he ended up quitting for a little bit because of his parents dying. But he went back, and then he later attended. Went back and got a degree as a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management, and then he went to the New York University and took Retailing Jewelry School Management classes. He also took Diamond Evaluation courses and attended summer school at Cambridge University in England, and then went West Virginia School of Graduate Studies. He married Gladys Garden of Chatham, Virginia, and they had a son. And basically, him and his wife owned and operated the stores in Bluefield, Richlands, and Beckley for over 40 years. He did have a son, and unfortunately, the son died in 1987 after an accidental drowning. So as I'm driving up Bland Street here, I'll be doing my typical circle where I circle around up here, start to go down the other side, which is Federal Street. I'll continue to talk about Alfred Land, and for his civic affairs for many years, he was active in Bluefield. So in 1984, he retired from business, and the Bluefield City Board of Directors named him Man of the Year. He was also honored by the Bluefield Chamber of Commerce at a luncheon for his work over the years of chamber activities. He was the past president of the Bluefield Sales Executive Club and a member of the National U.S. Sponsored Service Corps of Retired Executives, shortened to the word SCORE, and it provided free counseling to small businesses. And he belonged to a chapter of SCORE also down in Fort Myers. Basically, he moved down there in 1992 and was there until he died in 99. He was an active member for 45 years in the Bluefield Hebrew Synagogue and was also active in the Beth El Synagogue in Fort Myers. I figured I would mention him in this video because me and my mom were talking this past week when I was in visiting, and she mentioned him and asked if I remembered him while we were doing this little drive in Bluefield, and she was pointing out where his shop was and different things. I thought, that would be something great to talk about in the video because I remembered the name, but I did not remember anything about him or the shop itself or ever seeing him stand on his head. There's a couple articles in the Bluefield Daily Telegraph about Alfred Land and his business here and how Samantha Perry actually wrote them. So they were pretty interesting to read. So I recommend anybody reaching out and looking into those articles on the Bluefield Daily Telegraph with her memories of that retail store. Well, I have done my little circle here in Bluefield, and I'm going to cut the video off in just a second because I'll do another section of this video with other things to talk about later on. Figured I would break it up into a couple different little sections. So this is Angie from Tourangie.com. Come to my website, read my blogs, make appointments so I can help you plan your next travel adventure. Talk to you all later.